So yes, they could come home for lunch and play a little.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Chase the sheep.
Yeah.
So Frank Smith kept chickens?
Mm-hmm. Till we took his chicken coop.
You did? Oh.
Yeah. But, you know, I think a lot of these people along there had farm things and animals and so forth. And I think it's too bad that it's not allowed anymore.
Right. I think we have one horse left in Long Meadow.
Do we?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it died since I last checked.
Yeah. I remember the Youngs used to have horses.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, was there a social life in Long Meadow?
Well, it was at the beginning of the war, and so there wasn't, a lot of the men were in the service. Mac had very poor eyesight.
That was in 42?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So he didn't go into the service. He was, he went out to work at Chapman Valve, which was a defense industry.
Mm-hmm.
And he was working on the Manhattan Project, which he had no idea what it was.
Oh, wow.
And he'd gone to school in Los Alamos, New Mexico. And when they found out that the atom bomb had been dropped and had been developed at Los Alamos.
I know.
And
the Manhattan Project was about, was he a scientist?
No, he worked in the office.
Oh, I see.
But he was in charge of that department. And he had no idea what they were. They were making valves for, heavy water or something like that. He had no idea what it was for.
Yeah, heavy water, that's part of it. Oh my goodness, so you and Mac were totally surprised when it turned out they had an atom bomb and they used it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, during the war, most of the men were in the service, and we got very involved with the few couples that were still at church, First Church, and they didn't have the parish house then, and so underneath the main church there was a big room, and we used to have our social activities down there.
There still is a big room down there. Right?
Well, it's been cut up because into choir rooms and room for the brides and so forth, that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. So you had dances or played cards?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Somebody was telling us about tea dances.
Oh, yeah, down in Springfield.
Oh, was all the tea dances were in Springfield?
Well, I think so. I didn't know there was any in Long Meadow. I don't.
Right, there wasn't much in Long Meadow in the way of...
No.
Was the Turnverein up then?
I don't know. It might have been. I was never involved with it.
Did you go to Springfield to the tea dances?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So the basement, did you play cards down there or?
No, I don't know. No, I don't remember playing cards down there. We just used to meet and they used to have May breakfasts down there. I don't know whether you know anything about May. They used to have May breakfasts and harvest supper at the church to raise money.
Oh.
And before my time, the women would have to bring their own tablecloths and all the china and silver and so forth. And they'd serve a dinner and make money for the church. But that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, the churches are always a big center of social activity.
Yeah.
I mean, people think of it as religious, but really it's also a big social, an important social institution. So let's see, what else about Long Meadow can we talk about? Do you have dogs?
Always had dogs.
You always had dogs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In those days, they didn't have to be leashed. They could roam around. And
I know, that's really new, the leash laws.
I think so. I remember one of them, he was quite a character. And he would go up to Bay Path, and he'd wait outside the door for the girls to change classes with a stick in his mouth and wait for them to throw the stick.
He knew just where to go.
Yeah, and then And then one night at, I don't know, 11 o'clock, the police in Enfield called, said my dog was down there. I had to go down and get him. But he just looked.
Was he wearing a tag with your name on it?
Yes,
your phone
yes,
number? Yes.
Oh, dear. But
now, somebody told me that Bay Path, that was a Wallace estate?
yes, yeah. Matt grew up in the big house.
Oh, he grew up right there on the Bay Path property.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my. So then, oh, it was his...
His mother and father owned it, and they bought it from somebody named Page. They didn't build it. And they had a swimming pool and a tennis court. And
they had all that property that's now Bay Path? That's very nice.
And then when Mac's father died, his mother sold it, I think, to the Quinns and moved next door into the house that's now part of Bay Path that the Learys lived in for a while, because Mac's grandfather lived there, and so she moved in with him and lived there until she really bought 49, yeah.
So how did Bay Path get it?
I think they bought it from the Quinns. They had a business school down in Springfield.
Right.
And so I guess they decided that they'd like to, Tom Carr, I guess it was, decided he'd come to Long Meadow, bring it to Long Meadow. And it was just a junior college then,
right.
Business.
Right. Yes, I had someone who went to the Springfield school, Selena. And it was like a Catherine Gibbs school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a nice business school, really
Yes,
nice
yeah,
business school.
yeah.
And she said she got a really good
Yeah.
job coming out of there.
Yeah.
So they came to Long Meadow, and
Yeah.
now they're a 4-year college. And
I know, it's great. Carol Leary's done a terrific job with it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Well, that's very interesting that it was
Yeah.
in the family first.
Yeah.
So nice.
I think I spent one night there when Mac was courting me
Oh,
in the
yeah.
big house.
Oh, so where were you from?
Stamford, Connecticut. And we both went to the same lake in the summertime up in Tolland. And he grew up on the other side of the lake, and I was on the one side, and he was on the other. We got together.
You didn't have to swim across.
No, we didn't. No, we canoed, of course. And it's still very nice. I still have a cottage there. And
In Tolland?
yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's a private lake, and there are no motorboats. It's very quiet.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's lovely when there's no motorboats.
Yeah, well, I've given it to my daughter. My family gave it to me, and I've given it to my daughter. And 2 of my boys have cottages up there, so it's very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So is it Tolland, Mass, or
Yeah,
Tolland?
Tolland, Mass.
Ah, not
yeah.
Tolland,
And
Connecticut.
it's only 30 miles away, so you can get up there in 40 or 50 minutes.
Nice.
So it's very nice.
So did your daughter go to a private school too?
Yep, she went to Burnham, which was in Northampton then.
Oh, yes.
And then my other daughter went down to St. Margaret's in Connecticut. And then they both went off to college.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you raised your family here.
Yep.
And saw all these changes happen.
Yeah. Well, my son lost his wife, and his legal address is now 810 Long Meadow Street. I don't see much of him because he has a girlfriend or a lady friend. Right now they're out in Denver, but I get his mail, and he shows up once in a while.
To check his mail.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the dog, yes.
Yes. But,
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
He has that home to come to.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And it's nice to have a man around the house once in a while to do
Yes.
things I can't
Keep
do.
the list.
Yeah.
Minor home repairs.
Yes, that's right.
Always
That's
important.
right. Very.
And I know you help out here at the center now. You take people to doctor's
Yeah.
appointments?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
drive them there and
Yeah.
wait with them sometimes?
Yeah, that's not very difficult.
Well, it's still wonderful that you do it.
Yeah, well.
Very, very good. So I know Long Meadow, when I think of Long Meadow as compared to some other towns that are, I think how much charity there is in Long Meadow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people involved in charitable organizations.
There are.
You probably did a lot of that too, right?
Yeah, I never made any money in my life, but I volunteered out at Laughing Brook
Oh yes.
and then at the Science Museum.
In Hampden.
Yeah, and then I did the Science Museum in Springfield. And then also, for a while, the Wesson Maternity Hospital.
Oh yes.
When it was on High Street, I guess I started out there working. But so I've always done some volunteer work.
Yes, I remember the West. I think I was born in the Wesson Maternity
Yeah.
because I lived up the street and near your other Wallace relatives there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, was there war work that was?
I don't.
Maybe not.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Oh, maybe not. Anyway, thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Telling us about your history in Long Meadow.
Well, it's a wonderful town, and I enjoyed living here and bringing up my kids here.
Yes, it is a wonderful place to live and raise your children.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And it still is today, even though it's 3 times as populated and 3 times as large.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you came by today to talk to us about that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you for coming and seeing Long Meadow history.